Rome was a civilization obsessed with signs: birds in flight, eclipses, omens, strange births, comets in the sky. The Romans believed the gods could speak through the natural world, but astrology offered something even more seductive. It did not simply ask what the gods wanted, it asked what a person's destiny might be. Who would rise? Who would fall? Who was favored by fate? And most dangerously of all, when would the emperor die? This is the story of why Roman rulers consulted astrologers, feared astrologers, and sometimes tried to drive them out of the city. Because in imperial Rome, the future was never private. The future belonged to the state. Imagine Rome in the age of the emperors. Marble temples rise above crowded streets. Senators whisper beneath painted ceilings. Soldiers move through the city with orders they do not question. And somewhere away from the noise, an astrologer sits by lamplight. Before him are charts, calculations, planetary positions, and the birth data of a powerful man. This is not a newspaper horoscope. This is a political document. Astrology entered Rome through the wider Mediterranean world, especially through Greek and Eastern traditions. By the late Republic and early Empire, Roman elites knew astrology well. Some distrusted it, some mocked it, some banned it, but many still listened. The reason was simple. Rome was built on power, and power is always afraid of tomorrow. According to ancient accounts, the young Octavian, later known as Augustus, once visited an astrologer named Theogenes. The story says that when the astrologer examined his chart, he reacted with awe, as if he had seen a destiny too large for an ordinary man. Whether every detail of that story happened exactly as told is debated, but what matters historically is that Augustus later used astrological symbolism. Capricorn, associated with him, appeared on imperial imagery. The message was clear. His rule was not merely political, it had cosmic approval. That was astrology at its safest. Astrology as propaganda. Astrology as legitimacy. Astrology as a way of saying, "The heavens stand behind me." But the same tool could turn against the ruler. If a horoscope could suggest that Augustus was destined to rule, another horoscope could suggest that someone else was destined to replace him. That was the danger. A general could hear that greatness awaited him. A senator could be told that his birth chart promised command. A rival family could begin to believe that fate was on their side. And once ambition found a language in the stars, astrology became a threat. This is why Roman emperors repeatedly tried to control astrologers. Not because every emperor dismissed astrology as nonsense. The opposite is more revealing. Some feared it because it mattered. Tiberius, Augustus's successor, is remembered for keeping astrologers under pressure, while also relying on one himself, Thrasyllus. That contradiction tells the Roman story perfectly. The emperor did not want astrology to disappear. He wanted astrology controlled. The stars could speak, but preferably only to him. Roman astrology lived in a world where astronomy and astrology were not yet fully separated. To study the heavens was to track planetary motion, calculate celestial events, and interpret meaning. For many educated people, the sky was ordered. If the cosmos was ordered, perhaps history was ordered too. But not everyone agreed. Cicero, one of Rome's great thinkers, attacked astrology with sharp logic. He asked why twins, born almost at the same time, could live such different lives. He also pointed to soldiers dying together in battle. Did they all have the same fate? These were serious objections, and they show us something important. Ancient people were not foolish. They debated astrology, they questioned it, they criticized it. But criticism did not erase the desire to know what came next, especially in a violent political world. Rome had assassinations, civil wars, exiles, betrayals, and sudden reversals of fortune. In that world, astrology offered pattern, and pattern is seductive when history feels unstable. Here is where astrology crossed the line. A private reading became dangerous when it touched imperial succession. This story matters because it shows us astrology as a historical force, not as proof that the stars control human life, but as proof that belief can shape decisions. Roman emperors did not need astrology to be scientifically true for it to matter politically. They only needed people to act as if it mattered. A rumor could move a court, a prediction could unsettle a ruler, a horoscope could give courage to ambition. In Rome, astrology survived because it served one of the oldest human needs, the need to reduce uncertainty, the need to believe that chaos has a pattern, the need to know what power fears most, the future. Asking about love, travel, or health was one thing. Asking about the emperor's death was another. Because to predict the emperor's death was to imagine Rome without him. And to imagine Rome without him was already political. The horoscope became more than a chart. It became a question of loyalty. Who is chosen? Who is next? Who waits beneath the surface of power? That is why astrologers could be expelled, watched, restricted, or punished. Rome did not fear the stars. Rome feared what men might do after hearing them interpreted. In ancient Rome, the heavens were not silent. They were watched, interpreted, feared, and controlled. And for the men who ruled the world, a prediction could be as dangerous as a dagger. A horoscope could flatter an emperor, frighten a court, or give courage to a rival. Rome did not fear the heavens. It feared what men might do after hearing them interpreted. Because power has always feared one thing above all others: the future. I am Raziel Magus, and you're watching History of Astrology.